Well, it's living the dream part 2. Yesterday was a good day. I tore everything apart on this fifth wheel and went through and checked every connection, every nut, every bolt, adjusted everything. And you know, I woke up this morning thinking, you know what, it's gonna be the first day I don't have to fix nothing. And I was wrong again, because this little toilet plunger that goes on the back of these porcelain toilets, you know, I used to think that these things went bad because you're getting too much water pressure, so I bought a reducer to reduce the pressure. But this time I was even using the camper on the pump because I had a tank full of water that I wanted to use up, and this thing started just letting the toilet run again. And if this thing keeps running, you'll flood your whole camper if you're not paying attention. So now every time we leave, I always shut the water off in this thing and never leave the water on. So folks, you might want to keep an eye on this. This is like the 5th one I've replaced. You know, the first 2 or 3 I blamed it on too high a water pressure and didn't have one of those reducers on it, because some places you go, you barely get a trickle out of the thing, and the next place you go, the thing's pushing, you know, 80 pounds or something. So keep these. You can buy them on Amazon for half the price, and I can't blame Amazon because I've used the $50 ones and the $22 ones, and they still keep leaking. So I'm not sure what's causing this, folks. So here, thought today was going to be the day where I could say, you know what, this is the first time since we've owned this thing that I have not had something that I had to fix. But it's already fixed, so tomorrow's a new day is what they keep telling me. So but if you look at this thing, it's all washed. I even got it all cleaned up yesterday. Did get some rain last night, so it might be a little spotted. And if you look, all my jacks are down, everything's leveled. This is the best this thing has ever been leveled since we've set it up anywhere. So I went through, got it all perfect level, you know, manually leveled it, did it perfect, went in there, did the recalibration, and so now the thing should level it better all the time. I don't know if it was off or just got off from all the traveling we did, but I'm telling you, it was crazy. And on another good note, everybody knows I was complaining about where the auto lift was located on this thing, and I'm sorry about the wind because it's kind of windy out here today. But when you come over here, you can see that it's not there no more. I put the sticker over the hole for now until I get something to patch it, but it's been moved, and I moved it over here, and I'll tell you the reason I put it right there, so now that I can actually see, because I know that my hand can reach and I can see better to unhook everything. But the reason I was having problems with nothing working on this thing was I did all the resets, took away all the power, because they said, you know, make sure you have no juice to anything and that board will reset itself. Well, that didn't work. So what I had to do is I had to pull the board out, unplug the plug-in from behind that board, wait, you know, I waited maybe 3 or 4 minutes, plugged it back in. But in the meantime, I sent an email out to Lippard. Last night when I was all done with this thing, I finally get a thing and they say, unplug that thing and wait 10 minutes. So I figured that out on my own. But the board comes back on now. It has words. I was able to go through, set it for manual, lift my jacks, do everything I needed to do, remove the fifth wheel into a better spot where the ground was a little more level, and I was able to get auto level to work. But when it was all done, auto level wasn't correct. So then I went through and manually set everything on the fifth wheel, so it was perfectly level. Sorry folks, I'm cramming in here. And then I reset the thing, recalibrated it, and now I think it's perfect. But I'm gonna show you where my problem was. Now, hopefully you can see in here. I'm gonna turn this, but here is the whole unit. Okay, and you see this unit right here, all these were loose when I first figured out there was a problem. So I tightened them up, but the problem is you need to tighten the back bolt up first because there was still some play in there. But nothing would work, so I'm over here pushing the button and I tap on this and the thing starts working. Well, you can't see it right now, but right there's a hole there and a hole there. You'd think 2 screws would go in there and hold that thing tight. Well, there's no pre-screws made, so I had these zip ties, these heavy duty zip ties. I don't know what they use them for, but I put them on there to hold that thing into place. So if you're ever having problems and something's not working, check and make sure this is all tight. But then if you just put pressure on this or move this, the thing will start working again. So you can see I put these on here. Hopefully that takes care of it. But basically none of my jacks were working, my slide outs wouldn't go in or out. So that is what I had to do there, folks. So I got that all fixed. But I actually pulled out all the panels, went behind here and checked everything, all the wiring. I checked everything. So there was nuts and bolts and stuff loose. There was a lot of loose stuff, but I mean 10,000 miles of driving this thing around. I mean, we put like 9 and they probably put 1,000 pulling it from the factory down to the dealer where I got it from. So this thing's got like 10,000 miles. I jacked the wheels up, pulled the tires off, checked all the bearings and made sure there's more grease in there and everything. And I mean, I worked on this thing for like 12-15 hours yesterday. It was an all-day project till dark. Got all that done and then I washed it all up. So, and then of course you get it all done when it starts to rain. But only had 3 or 4 rock chips on it that I had to touch up and a couple up on the front up there. So one cool thing about Riverstone is they give you touch-up paint for everything on this thing, so that I really appreciate. But you know, if you're having problems with your jacks not working, and I tell you, when you get your thing home, go home, set this thing up, get it all perfectly level, you know, get yourself a good level, go inside the RV, level everything perfect, then come back out there, push that top button 5, the next one 5, no, it's 10 on the top, 10 on the bottom, and then it'll go into that mode where you can recalibrate the thing. And once you hit OK, then it recalibrates it to the way it was setting at that moment. So it's, you know, you can Google that and find that one. You can find that information out there, but it made a big difference. This is the best that this thing has ever been leveled, because when you, and in the past we'd wash clothes, and when the washing machine would go to its final spin cycle, that thing would literally shake me in my chair. And my chair, I felt like I had a vibrating recliner. But last night I washed 2 or 3 loads of clothes after I got this thing done and never felt anything. So it's the best it's ever been leveled. And it's kind of weird because I have been on concrete slabs and it did not level up as good as it has right now, and I'm just on this grassy surface. So I think all those other times the thing was leveling, but it wasn't leveling and perfect, and I didn't go around and check it. So I just assumed that it knew what it was doing, and that's what you get when you assume things. So just remember, folks, if you like the content we're putting out, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel, because this is a full-time job working on this thing. So I'm sure I'm going to have to fix anything and everything on it for the next, or basically the rest of my life, or until Robin's over this and we sell it. That's just a joke. But you never know. But I feel pretty good today, because this is the first time that I didn't have 10 things on my list that I needed to do or needed to check out. So, but make sure you have some of these. This has been my biggest problem with this thing ever since we purchased it. So you can buy them on Amazon. But other than that, folks, this is the second half of yesterday's bitch session, because yesterday I was pretty much over everything that happened. The jack's not working was one of those things that just push you over the edge, because I didn't even know if I could get this thing to move it, to take it to somewhere, if I couldn't figure it out. And I'm one of them people that I get something and I cannot even sleep until I fix something. So Robin knew that I might be out here for 3 days, and she was like, oh God, he's in that mode. And I was in that mode, and everything on this has been touched or checked by my hands yesterday. So I'm glad I figured it out, and I've been able to figure out everything on this thing since we purchased it. But you're always in the back of your mind going, that's gonna be that one thing that I can't figure out. It'll be something stupid, and I have to pay some guy to come out here and, you know, push something in or touch something and charge you 500 bucks. So I don't like paying other people to work on my stuff. So, and you know, it's been a long time. It's been 20 some years since I had to work on a fifth wheel. And my other one, I don't remember changing but batteries and adding solar power to it, and you know, stuff like that. I never, this basic stuff never gave me any problems. The whole, I don't know, 5-6 years, maybe longer than that, we owned that thing, I never had to worry about a toilet running over You know, I don't understand. I mean, this big fancy porcelain toilet. Did I need a porcelain toilet if it was going to leak every time I, you know, turn around? No, I would have rather had something, the old one or something like that. But it is what it is. So, but thanks for watching, folks, and hopefully everything is fixed from now on.